Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here. Today, I need your help. It's that time again where we're having some series come to an end, and so I need you guys to help me choose some new games to play alongside all the Mount & Blade Warband stuff that I am doing on the channel right now, and I conveniently have that up. But I'd like to show you, just kind of poke through my Steam library as well as maybe my wish list and some of the new stuff in the store, and we can see what might be fun to play on the channel. So I guess we'll just jump right in. I mean, first things first, we've got Arma 3. I'm working really hard to get some Arma 3 on the channel. I probably spend about 30 minutes to an hour every day working on Arma 3 stuff. The issue is that before, when I tried to get it going, I didn't have anybody helping me, and so there was a lot of people that were happy to join in and play, but we couldn't get all the mods put together, we couldn't get the missions built, because I was the only one that was really doing anything. I have somebody... Get out of here with that, Windows 7. I have somebody helping me now, and so hopefully things go a little bit smoother. But I would really like to get some Arma 3 stuff on the channel, and I'm working very hard to do it. So if you want to see Arma 3 stuff, don't worry. It's going to happen eventually, at least if I can help it. But it is going to take some time. What else do we got? Avedon, we took a look... Yeah, we took a look at Avedon, I think a week or so ago, and the game seems cool, but it's not really what we generally play on here, and the interest didn't really seem to be there. It's sort of an old school RPG. Yeah. Anywho, I've been meaning to do a first look video on this, but I haven't had the chance yet. Battle Brothers, obviously we're already playing, and if I can help it, we'll continue to play for quite a while. I really just love the hell out of this game. Easily my favorite early access game that I've ever purchased. You can see there I've got like almost 40 hours into it. But yeah, I love this game. We're going to continue to play it for a long time, especially if they continue to patch it as frequently as they are. What else do we got here? Call to Arms, we've been playing a little bit here and there. Now that we're playing Men of War, we'll probably see a lot less Call to Arms unless you guys really want to see Call to Arms as well. But there's a lot more that we can do with Men of War Assault Squad 2, so that's why I switched over. There's a lot more mods for that, and overall the game, I mean, I can't in good conscience call that game good or polished, but it seems to be a little bit deeper than Call to Arms, I guess. Although they're very similar. Company of Heroes 2, I've just been kind of dabbling in this whenever I have time to play it, which obviously is not very often. But I do find the game interesting. It's a cool twist on your typical RTS game, sort of like a StarCraft 2 or a Warcraft 3. They've added some cool mechanics that kind of mix up the formula, though, and make it fun and interesting. But it's challenging, and it does take a while to learn, and I just don't have the time to do that. The same can be said for Dominions 4, which seems like a really cool game. It's definitely extremely deep, but I just don't have time to really learn the game. What else we got? Crusader Kings 2, we're playing that right now. We've been playing it forever. Obviously, I think this was my first ever Let's Play, was Crusader Kings 2. So we'll be playing that for a long time. Envy the Dead, I've been meaning to do a first look video for you guys as well. Same thing with Fracture the Flag, Fragmented, and Faster Than Light. I think I got on sale and I haven't even played them yet. So, I mean, we could look at that. FTL, I know, used to be pretty popular. I don't know if anybody even plays it anymore. Great Whale Road. I would like to do a series on this at some point, but I'm going to let the developers patch the game a couple more times first, just to maybe get a little bit more polish in it, get it a little bit closer to that 1.0 version, and then we'll take another look at it. But it does seem like a cool game, so I would like to come back to it at some point. Hearts of Iron 3, I could never get into 3. I really enjoyed 2. I've played hundreds of hours of Hearts of Iron 2, but Hearts of Iron 3 I just could never really get into, which is a shame because I have like the game and like all the DLC and stuff, which they're actually selling right now for like $11 or $12 if you're interested. So, I mean, if you really like Hearts of Iron and you want to try 3, you can get it right now for like dirt cheap. Although 4 is out, and I think 4 is on sale too, but not for nearly as cheap. Iron Front, I only have this because I was trying to convert it over to the Arma 3 mod thing. I'm still working on that too, but again, that takes time, which I don't have, and yeah, it doesn't play nice with Apex. Like, I've seen people get it working for Arma 3, but I haven't seen anybody doing it since Apex came out. And when I tried to do it with Apex, the UIs got way messed up, and you couldn't click on anything. So either I did something wrong, or it's not going to work. Kingdom Come Deliverance. I kickstarted this game as like a Baron backer, I think. It was like the $60 one. But yeah, I've had beta access for a while. Only recently has the game been optimized enough where I could actually play it. But it's kind of cool. It's still really, really poorly optimized. The game looks pretty if you can run it, but most people can't run it on anything higher than like the absolute lowest. Even when I can run it higher, the frame rate is just garbage. But it's a cool game so far. I really like where they're going with it. We could take a look at it if you guys really want to. Mass Effect. We had talked about doing like a Mass Effect trilogy series, and while there was a couple people interested in it, it just wasn't enough because it would take like literally probably a year and a half to play through all 3 games on the channel, and that's a hell of a commitment. And so if I don't have like everybody on board with it, it's just not something I'm going to do. Men of War Assault Squad 2, obviously we just started playing that recently, and I really enjoy this game. I'll be playing a lot more of it, especially if you guys continue to enjoy it. But there's just so many things we can do with this game. There's so many mods, there's so many different scenarios. Somebody's even created like all of Modern Warfare 1 and 2 missions from Call of Duty and put them in here, which is super cool. You can play like the last stand of Washington, D.C. in Modern Warfare 2 or whatever. But yeah, it's a cool game, and there's a lot of cool mods for it, so definitely something that I'd like to continue. Mordheim City of the Damned. I would have loved to play this on the channel, but the reception for it was not great. So, I mean, maybe we can come back to it at some point, but it just doesn't seem like there was a lot of interest in it, even though I'm interested in the game, although I'm not great at it. Next card game. My favorite, I guess I can't say it like, it's not an early access bust. Like, they have continued to work on it. It's just not coming along nearly as fast as it probably should be or should have. I mean, I bought this game like years ago. I can't even remember how long it's been. And still not done. So, yeah. What else do we got here? RimWorld, wasn't a whole lot of reception for that either. Everybody in the world's played this on their channel, so I'm happy to move on. I don't really care. The developers gave me a code, and so I showed it off, but I don't really enjoy it that much. Rome Total War. We played a little bit of Rome 2, which I don't think I have installed on this computer. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Total War is kind of hit and miss on the channel, so I never really know if you guys want to see Total War or not. Running with Rifles, obviously we've been playing for a while. Once this campaign ends, we're going to take a break, and then we might come back with some Running with Trenchfoot, the World War I mod, but that remains to be seen. What else do we have? Sorcerer King, sort of like a 4X game. Empire at War. I've really tried to get into Empire at War. I haven't had a lot of time to play with it, though, but it seems like it could be a fun game to play, especially with all the mods that are out there for it. There's like Clone War overhauls and stuff that would be really cool, especially now that we've been playing Star Wars Conquest. Everybody's all about Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I'm actually repping a Star Wars shirt right now. But, yeah, I mean, that's something we could play. It would take me a while to learn it. What else do we got? Rome 2, there it is. We've already played Rome 2 on the channel, so I'd like to play a different Total War game if we were going to do another. Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai is something I would love to play on the channel. I love the naval combat in Fall of the Samurai, as well as like the dynamic between like the bows and the muskets and all that stuff. And the artillery is really, really great in that game. But yeah, I love the naval combat in the game, especially like the naval bombardments and stuff is awesome. Total War Warhammer, we did like a series and a half on it. It didn't seem like you guys were all that interested, so we'll probably leave Total War Warhammer alone. What else do we have? XCOM 2, I tried to play on the channel when it came out, and not a whole lot of interest for it. I enjoyed the game, though. I enjoyed it a lot. You can see there 35 hours. I don't remember if I beat it yet. I got pretty close, but I had to just continue the playthrough on my own to get through the rest because, you know, on the channel it wasn't doing great. And then Xenonauts. I really like Xenonauts. I think I like it more than XCOM, Enemy Unknown, or XCOM 2, just because I like it's got some like old school charm to it. I really enjoy it. If we did a Xenonauts playthrough, I would mod the hell out of it probably, but that might be fun, although it would be a really, really long series, so I don't know about that. So yeah, that's just kind of what's kicking around my library. I mean, obviously anything else in here is fair game, so hopefully you guys were able to kind of poke through that as I stopped on each one. Valkyria Chronicles is another game we had talked about playing at one point. That's a really cool game. I can't recommend this game enough, especially if you can get it on sale. The depth in this game blew me away. I was expecting just sort of like this little story that you play through, but then you got all these like army management mechanics and all this like really, really cool stuff that I had no idea would be in the game, and it just like the depth was staggering the first time I played it. And I can't recommend that game enough if you haven't played it. So yeah, let's take a look at the store. And new releases, not really anything that interests me. I mean, Avedon, again, we've got that. Anything else? Not really, no. Top sellers. Everspace. I've seen a couple other YouTubers playing this. I don't like games, especially space games. Well, I mean, obviously space games, but I don't like games where you play as like a spaceship. Like, I like Star Citizen or games that try to be like that, where you're a character that gets on a ship. But in games like this, you're literally like trying to roleplay a spaceship, and I can never get invested. Somebody was recommending like the X series, and I actually have. I think it's in like my junk folder. So like I have my games here, and then I have like another 60 games that are just like, I don't even want to look at. Yeah, X Rebirth. Played it for an hour, and I was just like, no, done. But yeah, I've got a lot more games in here. That this is like the stuff that I get in like the humble bundles that I don't want. That like you have to, I don't know. They changed Humble Bundle. I don't like it anymore. What else do we got? I got a big ass wish list going on here. Battlefleet Gothic Armada. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, but it is a strategy game, and it is Warhammer 40k, which I can't get enough of. Speaking of Warhammer 40k, I don't know if you guys would be interested in like shit, what's the game called? It's in here somewhere. Eternal Crusade, right here. I don't know if you guys would be interested in Eternal Crusade. I don't play a lot of like FPS or third-person shooters on here, but I used to play a lot of them, and so I don't know, maybe you guys would be interested in that. Timber and Stone had been talked about before. That's something we could play. It's sort of like a Minecraft type city builder hybrid thing. I don't know how to describe it really. What else do we got here? I don't know. Most of these are on here just because I found them interesting. I don't really ever intend to purchase some of them. Man of War Corsair was interesting, but I don't know. It depends how much they've added. The last time I took a look at it, the game just was not all that deep. It was very, very shallow, actually. But it looks like they've added quite a bit based on the screenshots, if they're any indication. So, this is basically just a Warhammer Fantasy, like, in sort of like a Assassin's Creed Black Flag type ship sailing combat game. It's pretty cool from what I've seen. It looked really, really shallow, and I wasn't about to spend $30 on a game where I can only sail around like a quarter of the map and man one boat. But I mean, obviously it's early access, and they're continuing to work on it, so it could have been updated pretty significantly since then. Sovereignty Crown of Kings is another game I've had my eye on for a long time. It's another like grand strategy type game. I don't know if it can necessarily be considered grand strategy, but it's pretty close to a grand strategy game if it's not. But it is, I think, turn-based, and I don't know, it seemed really cool. But it never goes on sale. I've literally had this game in here for like 2 years. Never once did it go more than 10% off. So I think the developers should maybe think about dropping that a little bit, and I would consider buying it. For Honor, we might play that when it comes out. I hate buying AAA games. I make a habit of not doing it for the most part, especially when they're charging $60 for it. But it looks good. It looks good. I'm not gonna lie. I hate Ubisoft, or whatever you want to call them. But the game looks good, and I don't want to judge it based solely on who's publishing it. So maybe we'll take a look. Oblivion. I've been meaning to get Oblivion on PC for a long time. I have it on PlayStation, but when I got it, I could never get into it, which is funny because I've played the absolute hell out of Skyrim, and I don't know, maybe I was just too young at the time, but I couldn't get into Oblivion, and I'd really like to go back to it. So, I mean, that's something we could do at some point, like a super modded playthrough. Blood and Gold, that's basically like Mount and Blade Pirates. That could be kind of fun, but I feel like there's enough Mount and Blade happening on the channel right now. Maybe not, I don't know. Kingdom, New Lands. What else do we got here? Half of these games I can't even remember what they were, but they looked interesting at the time. This is the Police. That probably shouldn't be on here anymore. Way too many people have played that, and from what I've seen, like, the game just absolutely tanks in the second half. Like, it's, oh, cool, this game's awesome, and then, like, oh, the RNG. Where did I go wrong? What else do we got here? I actually have the second one of these. It's like Rise of Caesar or something, and I don't know why, but I could never really get into it. It seemed like a cool game. I really liked the artwork and stuff. The mechanics weren't terrible. I don't know. I could never really sink my teeth into it. What else do we got? Retro Pixel Castles has caught my eye a couple times. Deathwing. That's a story-based game, not something that we touch on very often, but I do love some Warhammer 40k, and it is Space Hulk too. But this is like a shooter. It's not like the strategy game, which I do have. So if you guys want to see Space Hulk, we could certainly do that. But this is a FPS where you play as giant Terminators and just wreck everybody's shit. But yeah, I love me some 40k. Oh, come on, Steam Store. What are you doing to me? Go back to my wish list. Okay, what else do we got? I jumped way too far down, didn't I? Probably. There it is. Steam Squad. I'm very hesitant about that. I've gotten very mixed feelings about it. Void Destroyer. I'm actually more interested in the second one that's coming out soon. But the second one looks like a really cool game. It's on my wish list somewhere. I don't remember what that was. Dawn of War 3. I didn't like 2 that much. I hate to say it, but I really didn't enjoy 2 all that much. I really enjoyed the first one, particularly. I liked Soulstorm, but the one before it with the Necrons, I can't remember what it was called. But I've played that one a lot. I really like the freeform campaigns in those 2 expansions, where you can you pick a faction, you basically conquer a map, and the AI controls the other factions. I love campaigns like that, where you just kind of get to do your own thing. You don't have to follow a story or anything. Vector 36, I honestly don't even remember what the hell that was. Urban Empire looked kind of cool, although it looked to be a little bit too much like a couple other games that we played on the channel, and it's a city builder, which always makes me nervous. But it seemed like a cool game. It's sort of like a grand strategy, but you're playing as like a mayor. I don't know. It's worth looking at if you like strategy games. It seemed like a cool concept. It's kind of pricey though. What else do we got? I don't want this video to run on too long, but I just want to show you like what I'm kind of looking at recently. Hearts of Iron 4, I'd love to grab at $35. I don't know. I don't know if if I don't play it on the channel, I really don't have time to play it on my own time, so I'd be dropping like $36 for a game that's just going to sit in my library. Which there's plenty of, but a lot of them were given to me as like, review codes and things. This looked like a really cool game. No, I'm not going to try. Well, I will try, but I'm not going to succeed. Nobunaga's Ambition, Sphere of Influence. This is a grand strategy game, and it seemed sort of like superficially maybe like a Hearts of Iron combined with like a Total War game. But I don't know, why are my screenshots being dumb? Come on, show me. But it seemed really cool, and on sale, I mean, on sale it's still 30 bucks, but I don't know, the reviews are pretty good. The game looks really cool. I wish I could see some combat. Let's see, we've got like cutscene stuff here. Here's some combat. So, oh, it doesn't really zoom in. But it looks very like Total War-esque. So you got a bunch of dudes with spears. I think you can control the formations and stuff. It looks cool. I am meaning to watch some Let's Plays on it and see if it's something that might be fun. But it looks like a cool game. It looks like a really cool game. Back to my wish list, please. Okay, what else do we got? Halcyon 6. I've watched Let's Plays on this and I'm not impressed, although, I mean, if they had marketed it at like $14.99 or something, I would consider it, but I don't know, it seems a little bit overpriced for what the game is. And so that's my wish list. If you guys see anything on here that looks cool, anything in my library looks cool, let me know. Again, on the store page, there's really nothing recently that I've had any interest in at all. Definitely not Pro Evolution Soccer, although I used to really enjoy FIFA. I used to play a lot of FIFA. Never really been all that interested in soccer, though. I used to play a lot of Madden back in like the 05, 06 days. Madden was never better than when it was on PS2. And if you, or PS2 and Xbox. But, I don't know. I'm sure some people would disagree with that, but they would be wrong. And, what else do we have here? Really nothing. I mean, they're really pushing like these really old dated games on me now. Like everything that I see on here is always like, oh, here's a game from like 2005 that you might enjoy. It's like, maybe in 2005 I would have. But yeah, I mean, I'm tempted to buy this just because it's $5, and it might be fun to do some, like, I don't know, some pirate stuff in a Warband engine. If you're not familiar with this, it was a mod for Mount & Blade Warband, I believe, or maybe it was original Mount & Blade. I don't remember. But it was sort of like a spin-off. Who published it? Snowbird Games. I think it was. I forget what happened. I'm pretty sure that the mod team that made the mod became Snowbird Games, and they basically made this in the Mount & Blade engine, but they added like ship battles and stuff. They basically just butchered the engine, but like if you look at this, it's clearly Mount & Blade. You can see like the models are very Mount & Blade. The game is buggy as hell from what I hear, but it could be a lot of fun. I mean, it's not like Mount & Blade Warband and Mount & Blade aren't buggy in their own right, so it could be fun. It could be a lot of fun. It could be absolute hell. Yeah, here's the inventory screen. It's literally Mount & Blade. But they've added a lot of cool stuff. It's like a complete total overhaul, similar to like Viking Conquest, but this one wasn't done through Tale Worlds, and so it doesn't have the I mean, I can't call Viking Conquest polished either, but it doesn't have, you know, the real developers backing it, and so obviously the quality is not going to be quite the same. But you can see like the models and stuff actually look really, really good. The armors look really cool. Everything is, I mean, pretty solid looking. Like the clothing actually looks really good, and they've added a lot of custom stuff like you saw there, the ship battles and things like that. So that could be something fun to play as well. But I think this video is running way longer than I intended, so I'm going to just end it here. But let me know what you guys think. I always want to hear what you guys would like to see me play, and obviously we've got some spots opening up that we're going to need to fill, so let me know what you think, and I will see you guys back here for my next video. Thank you for watching.